Peace, ladies. Welcome back to the Wholeness channel. I'm Ruby if you don't know me already, and today I wanted to talk about how to stop being insecure or jealous. I know this is a natural thing that happens to both men and women, but these days it seems like it's happening more regularly because of things like social media that causes us to compare ourselves a lot more often. And I know it's natural to have those feelings, but sometimes it can become very unhealthy for us. So I think it's best to work towards becoming more secure with yourself and to not be jealous of other people. So the first thing I want to say about that is that we all have something special and unique about us, and that we truly are incomparable to others. Now, yes, we're all women, right? I'm talking to us ladies. So we're all women and we all have similarities. So, in that way we are connected. In that way we are very similar, very alike. But we're obviously all unique individuals. We all have our own soul. We all have our own personality. We all have our own look to us. So there is definitely something special about each and every one of us that cannot be replaced and it cannot be compared to. Think about it this way. If you look at a beautiful bouquet of flowers and there's just all kinds of varieties of different types of flowers inside that pot, it makes it so beautiful because there's just different sizes, different colors, different textures maybe of the flowers. So you want to think about women like flowers, right? We're all flowers, but we all look different and we all have different colors and everything, all our unique individual characteristics about us. It makes it just really puts that to perspective for me of, okay, just because this flower is bigger or this flower is this color, it doesn't mean it's more beautiful than this one, right? Because you can't really compare them. Like, say like a rose and a daisy. They're both flowers, of course, but they're just so different that you really can't compare the two. So that's how I like to think about us ladies, as just flowers, right? Just different types of flowers. So I hope that really helps you put things into perspective. So what causes insecurities? From my personal experience and from my observation and what I believe brings us insecurities is most likely an event that took place sometime down the line in our life where something caused us to be feeling insecure. Because think about it, when we're children, we are not insecure. We're not. We're just existing, and we're not very, we're not too self-aware yet, so I don't even think we have, the full capacity to be insecure, we do, but, not on the level of a full grown mind, you know what I mean? So when we're children, we just exist. So there had to be a point in time where something caused us to feel insecure. It could have been something somebody said about you or to you. It could have been something, most likely it's probably a situation where you were either comparing yourself or someone was either bullying you or just something like that that made you, second guess your worth or second guess, your just something about you, right? So it would be good to probably identify, if you can, when and what happened that made you feel insecure. Because once you know what that event was that made you feel insecure, then you can, work towards healing, right? So, we've all been there before. So jealousy is related to insecurity, right? Because most of the time when you're jealous, it's because of an insecurity, or it's because of something that you that you perceive to lack, right? You think you're lacking something, and if you see somebody else with what you think that you want, it might cause jealousy, right? Especially with the social media and people flaunting all of their blessings pretty much, and people flaunting what they have, what they look like. It's very, very easy to compare yourself to other people. And that's just a natural thing. I believe that we have these behaviors for a reason, and it's most likely for survival purposes. But when it's taken out of when you don't have any harness on it, you don't have any control over it, and you just let your emotions and your feelings take over, that's when it can become unhealthy. So we really have to learn how to take control of our thoughts and our behaviors and our feelings, because it will end up hurting us if we're not careful. Like I said, it is natural to feel maybe a little insecure and jealous at times, but the best way to feel is secure and confident and okay with who we are. So I hope I can give you a few tips on how to do that. Okay, so the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of comparison or being jealous of somebody else, like I said, is that you perceive to be lacking something. And when I say perceive, it's because most of the time, we actually have our own version of what we think other people have. And, for example, I talk about body image issues a lot because that's something that's really impacting our society and women and girls. So think about it this way. We all have a female body. We all have female body parts, right? And there's no point in comparing shape or size because we all have the same basic structure, right? A basic anatomy. So if you really think about it like that, it's like they don't really have something that you don't have. It's just different from you, right? So if you start to think about that, then it leads you into thinking about your blessings and your uniqueness and what makes you beautiful. Another thing that comes to mind when I think about feeling jealous or comparing yourself to other people is because, not just because you think that you lack something that they have, it's also that you are not taking the time for yourself. And you might actually be more jealous of the fact that they have time to better themselves. They have the time and the energy and the resources to, or the mindset even, to become the best version of themselves, and they are doing everything they can to be the best version of themselves, and you are not. So I think that's really what it comes down to, because like I said, we're not really lacking anything, but we are lacking that mindset, and we are lacking sometimes we're not really taking care of ourselves to our full potential that we could be. So for example, if it's something based off of looks, say you see a pretty lady and she has maybe a nice outfit, or she has whatever you think is beautiful in her that you think you're lacking, or she has her nails done, or you could tell that she takes care of herself. And some people might be like, if you're a hater, right, you might be like, oh, she thinks she's all that because she got her hair, her nails, and her outfit, right? And maybe she does think she's all that, but the bigger truth here is that you think she's all that, and there's something about her that makes you feel insecure, that makes you feel like you're lacking something. My advice to that would be to start focusing more on yourself, and do the things that make you feel pretty, do the things that make you feel comfortable with who you are, And, if you're the type of girl who likes to maybe dress up sometimes or do your hair, do your makeup or whatever, in moderation, I think, personally, because obviously you can see that I choose to cover myself. So, there's certain things I wouldn't do in public, but especially in the home. If you're one of those types of girls who loves glamour and all that stuff, make time for that, Make time for it. And stop worrying about what other people are doing. Stop worrying about what other people look like or what they're doing for themselves, because all that time you're looking at somebody else, you really could be working on yourself. If you think about the to-do list, your personal to-do list to make yourself the best version of yourself, and you actually took the time to think about it, even write it down and start to work on yourself, you wouldn't even have the time or energy to be looking at other people. You just wouldn't, because there's too much to do. There's too much to do for yourself that you are wasting your time and your energy, you're wasting your resources. And look, time is something we will never get back. So just think about it that way. All this time you're looking at other people, you could be looking at yourself. You could be going deeper into yourself to better yourself. You could be taking the time to take care of yourself better, and you will not feel the same level of insecurity or jealousy if you really do take the time for yourself. I'm speaking out of personal experience, so that's why I believe that so strongly. For example, if you are the girly girl type like me, you have hair care, you have skin care to do, you have personal reflection, you have maybe journaling, you have to work out, you have to cook good food, you have to stay hydrated, you have to nurture your relationships, you have to be practicing your spirituality, you have to be learning about how to better yourself, you actually have to be doing the work, you have to be taking accountability for things that, you need to improve on. There's just way too much to do to be worried about somebody else. There's too much to do. So once you actually start, becoming the best version of yourself, you will not feel the same type of jealousy or insecurity. Once you do all those things on your to-do list, come back to me and let me know if it changed something for you or if you're still feeling the same amount of insecurity, because I can almost guarantee you that you won't. You will not, because if you're doing all the things that make you feel good about yourself, improvement is what makes us feel good. I don't know if you've ever watched those type of shows where it's like, for example, like What Not to Wear. I used to watch that when I was younger, but these people, they had, they probably just didn't take enough time to really make themselves feel good about how they present themselves, right? And they get a makeover or whatever. But at the end, most of the time, you see these people crying and like, oh my gosh, I look so good, But it's like, you could really tell that at that moment, they didn't see anybody else. They saw themselves, and they were just happy to have improved themselves in some type of way. So improvement is really what brings us confidence. So once you start to do that for yourself, you're going to feel much better. Now, that's just the aesthetic, side of it. And that's not what's most important. But this is an issue, and that's why I'm talking about it more. What's going to give you true comfortability and acceptance of yourself is really working on your spirit, your soul, your character, your behavior, your aura. All these things will actually give you true confidence, inner peace, and being comfortable in your skin. And the looks are just the cherry on top at the end of the day. Even though it's fun to, for me, I like to dress up. I like to, give myself at-home spas and everything. That's not really what brings me true confidence. It's just what enhances, it enhances our beauty and it maintains our beauty. And I think that's just as important, that's very important for us, for women. Especially because nowadays, a lot of women, we're seeing all these beauty standards and all that. And I don't agree with them, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't affect me and it doesn't affect all these women and girls, in society. So, knowing that, we can't really get away from some of it, but we should do our best to avoid getting too wrapped up into it and taking it too seriously. But we can come from this perspective, right? We can appreciate the gift that we have been given, that is us. We can appreciate our bodies. We can appreciate our beauty. We can maintain our beauty. We can take care of ourselves to be healthy. We can take care of, our health. We could be doing so much to improve ourselves, to make us feel better about ourselves. So that's really what I believe is the key to that confidence. Like I said, it's from the inner beauty, and then that reflects on the outside. And it's, I kind of talked about this a little bit, I think, in the other femininity videos. So if you're interested in stuff like this video, go ahead and watch that playlist as well. I will put it at the end of this video. Those are just a few ways, that's just like the basic overview of what's helped me to become more secure in who I am, and also to accept who I am. And I will say that there are things about me that I've had to learn to accept. And it doesn't necessarily mean, maybe you don't even have a preference for something about you. But that doesn't mean that you can't learn to have love, show love for yourself, show respect for yourself. And that doesn't mean that you cannot accept yourself. Because I think that's a huge issue, which is why I speak about plastic surgery and stuff. Because people are not getting to the point where they can truly accept themselves. And, say whatever you want about it. Say, well, it's just for her, if it makes her happy, let her do it. Fine. It's your life, but I'm trying to give you a different perspective on it. And I believe that you're not truly accepting of yourself if you really feel the need and you actually take action to risk your health and not really fix the true issue, which is an inner issue, not an outer issue. You're really not fully accepting yourself if you feel the need to change yourself to that extreme. And we can learn to change our perspective, and we can be grateful, and we can actually come to peace with who we are, but it takes work. So people want to take the easy way out, even though it's not easy. You just think it's easier, but in reality, once you go down that path, there's always going to be something that you don't like about yourself that you want to change. And it's going to get you into a very negative space, in my opinion. I think that's a very negative space to be in. I would rather work on myself and take the challenges in life as they come and do my best to work through them, instead of putting a band-aid over something like a deeper wound. You can't put a band-aid over a deep wound. It's not going to heal correctly. So you need to be thinking about it like that. You're not probably going to like everything in life. And this life isn't perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. But it is here to test you, to challenge you, and for you to learn. So take that as a learning opportunity. Take that as an opportunity to grow into loving yourself more and respecting yourself more. That's just what I feel about, that issue of perfectionism and, all this weird stuff going on. It's weird to me, I'll be the first to say it. It's a weird space that we're in right now. So I really hope this helps you take a few things into consideration and really try to ponder on what I'm saying and really consider applying it to your life. And I really, truly believe that it will help you just like it's helping me. And I'm not perfect either. I'm a human being. I have my days where I don't feel it, but recently I have not gone down a negative spiral in this negative thinking about myself. So I'm very grateful for that, and I know it's because I'm taking the time to actually heal and improve, and taking the time to accept myself fully. So I really hope you can do the same thing, and just let me know if you have any other thoughts or any other tips on this subject. Leave it in the comments so we can all help each other to grow. All right, ladies, well, that's all I have for today, and I hope you subscribe to this channel so we can become a community and we can grow together. And I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace, ladies.